Hey friends, I'm Otis Gibbs, and this is my buddy Warner Hodges. He's going to talk about the realities of being an independent band on tour.
Earlier in the year, in June, I played a club in Blackpool, England, the Waterloo, owned by Ian Fletcher. It's a great rock and roll club. We did a solo show, Warner solo show there, the Warner E. Hodges Band. While I'm there through soundcheck and all, I hear they're doing this AC/DC Fest thing in November. And I get to talking to a few people, and it's mostly AC/DC tribute acts. And I told Ian, I said, dude, you know, why can't I play that, man? If you guys hire us, we'll show up, we'll do the whole Power Age record front to back. My favorite record, right? And Ian talked to the guy that was like the main, and the guy was like, oh, God, yeah, we'd love. So, you know, it sounded really good in June. You know, we signed up, we're going to do this, we're going to do the whole Power Age record front to back. In my band, we had like 4 of the songs already in our arsenal. I'll do some AC/DC. We try not to do it every day, but we do a song or 2 almost every show. But the whole idea is if we do a cover, we got to be able to play the hell out of the cover, or we ain't doing it. If Angus wouldn't see this and dig it, we can't do it. My guys get the point. They're in. Well, we're over. Cut to September, October. We're over touring with the Super Suckers, and every sound check's like, those other 5 songs, we're gonna learn this here, we're gonna learn that there. You know how sound check is. We never got to any of it. It just, hey man, we got to hurry up. You know, it just sound check. It just never worked out. So we're driving back to England from Germany. We got to go all the way up to Fofar, Scotland. It's actually weird. I haven't done one of these in years, but Ben, my guitar player, Ben Marston, and I, we do a duo gig, just me and Ben. We played it as if we had a drummer and a bass player, but it was just Ben and I. It was the 2 dichotomies of rock and roll. You know, we do that one night. The next night, we're at Waterloo to do the AC/DC Power Age record. Well, on the way to Fofar, I break the news to the guys that this is going to suck, but we've got to stop somewhere and rehearse. We got to learn those other 5 songs, you know. Well, I know we all have, but we haven't seen if the puzzle fits together, you know. You've practiced. We haven't rehearsed, you know. So in the middle of our travel, we stop and have a rehearsal, which everybody would rather have put needles in their eyes than done, you know. And the rehearsal is okay. It's like, all right, we got these under our belt. Power Age is a 40-minute record. We need a couple more songs. We had one other AC/DC song that's not on Power Age. Ben, my guitar player, says, I can sing Whole Lotta Rosie. I went, boom, that gives us our set. And I don't have to learn the lyric. This is great, you know. We play Fofar. We go play the AC/DC thing. AC/DC thing's great. We kick ass. It's wonderful. At 12:30 that night, we get in the van and we start driving for southern Germany, our next show the next day. We get to said show at 7:30 in the evening the next day. We've been traveling for like 19 hours. Downbeat's 8:30, right? So we literally get there at 7:30, set up, no sound check. We just set up, throw down a plate of food, go on at 8:35. We're 5 minutes late. Ended up having a really great show, but we were all, you know, running on fumes would be putting it lightly. You know, it was, there were a few songs where lines from different songs got sung and all kinds of fun stuff, you know. Rock and roll, man, it's what happens. It was a great idea in June when I agreed to it. When it actually came to having to do it, it was the stupidest thing we've ever done. And I know my band guys wanted to kill me. Why'd you agree to this, you know? Yeah, I do that every now and then. So you want to be in a rock and roll band, you know? And I'll give you, it's a step above, you know, Tommy Womack had the government cheese, but, you know, it was the book of riding around a band making $200 a night. My thing's a little bit bigger than that, but not much, you know. We actually had 2 of those. I haven't done it in years, but we had 2 of them. We did 13 shows in 14 days with the Super Suckers. I haven't worked like that in a long time. But twice we had, you're not going to see a bed for 48 hours, you know. That's hard on the singer. It's hard on everybody, I know, but the singer, the only thing that helps a voice is sleep, and I can't sleep in a band sitting up. And, you know, it's just, but those shows I did learn from the old days with the Scorchers, some of those shows sometimes become wonderful shows because you just hit the fuck it button. You're just like, dude, you know, let's just have fun. That's all we can do. Let's just have the most fun we can have with this. I'm tired. You're tired. We just want to go to bed. We have to play. Let's just have fun. And those actually, you shut your brain off and just have fun, you know. The crowd that we literally set up with a sold-out audience staring at us, they were there ready, you know. We didn't get there till 7:30. They knew what had happened. They were cool with it, you know, and they I think they loved us more for the fact that when it come time, we all hit the gas pedal as hard as we could, and we had a great time, you know. But you want to be in a rock and roll band, that's, you know, you've lived it. You know the glamour. You know, I have buddies come out, they'll come out for a weekend and you send them home in a box. They just didn't realize you did all that other stuff too. Well, I mean, I always tell anybody if they come out for a visit for any amount of time, it's like any nap you can get, you know. Any tour like that. I mean, I just did 10 weeks. Longest tour I've done since the 80s probably. First time I've ever done that as the singer. You know, the whole time you're worried, man, if I get sick, man, I messed the whole team up, you know. And we all got a cold, but via Dan Baird and Joe Blanton, I knew some things to do. They had told me every trick they knew, and it did help having that knowledge, previous knowledge. But sleep is the only thing that helps a voice. You know, it's not a guitar. You can't put strings on. It's not a drum head. You know, I'll just put a new head on it. You strip a voice, it's stripped. It ain't coming back, you know. You cannot simulate singing over a loud rock band, you know. You can practice all you want in your bedroom with an acoustic guitar. You're not fighting loud-ass amps, you know. There's it's Joe Blanton literally gets on his treadmill, puts his stereo on as loud as he can do it, runs and sings to try to simulate what it's going to be like, you know. It's like, wow, dude, that's serious. He's like, well, you can't practice for this. The only way to do it is to do it, you know. What we always did with Dan would always try to, we'd go over, do 2 or 3 shows, have 2 days off, and then he'd be ready. But don't start out with 6, you know, because you're going to strip your voice. On the level we're doing it. Half the time the monitors suck, you know. I've never done any ears. I don't know that I could. I don't want to be on an island. I want the immersion of the whole thing. That's what we did on the Thunder and Fire album with the Scorchers. We could never seem to get Jason's live vocal, and we literally brought in a PA and let Jason sing live on that record. You know, he went at it as if he was on stage, you know. Like you say, Neil Young did it. It can't be wrong, you know. I want to be immersed in it. It's part of it. You know, I can do, as a background vocalist, God knows how many times I've done it without a monitor. You know, if the monitors weren't right, half the time I just reached down and unplugged mine anyway. But I was singing backgrounds, not lead vocals, you know. A little bit different.